thinking to myself, what a wonderful world.
Hi everyone! Today we're going to be doing a vlog. So it's going to be a really fun one with Katrene. So hi Katrene.
Hello!
Katrene dances with CCP and she's always there. I always watch her, except now during the pandemic. So we're doing this online for you guys so that it's a lot more fun. So I hope that you enjoy this. We're going to be answering questions on ballet. So common questions that you find on Google. And I'm going to read them out for Katrene. And then she can answer them for us. And I'll give some of my input also. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so our questions are around is ballet. So we're going to start with the first question, and it is ballet a sport?
Wait, oh, that's tough. Okay. For me, I guess more than the ballet, more than the sport side of the ballet, I think ballet is more of an art because you input something into it. I mean, not input like creative input. I don't know with sports because I was into sports when I was in high school, and I guess you just have a goal to do without thinking how creative you want to, like, let's say for example for a volleyball, how creative you would put that way or toss the ball. I guess it's more of an art, and it becomes sport, I guess, when it comes to competitions because there's an award. But yeah, if the question is that, I think puede. Yes and no.
Half, half.
Half, 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 half.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess so. I think it can be a sport. And then there's the side that it can be an art also.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends.
Yes.
Well, I guess the training can be a sport. And then there's a science behind it. But then again, it's like a performance.
Yes.
So your art is still your art. In the end, it's still dancing. So I guess it's still more an art than a sport.
Yes.
But yeah. Because you do invest your feelings into everything.
I know,
So,
I agree.
Yeah. I think even your class, even if it's more repetitious, it's so emotional, and you always have to put in your heart, or you have to put in kind of like an effort. So I think in that sense, it's still an art.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So let's go to the next question, and it is ballet hard?
Okay. Okay. Ballet is, yes, it's hard. For someone who's starting, I guess it's hard. There's really hard part into everything that we do, not just ballet. But I guess if you really love what you're doing, hard is nothing. Hard is nothing. It's okay for you to go through it. So yes, ballet is hard because it's very physical in that sense. But I guess it's one of the most rewarding thing that, I guess, for me, that's happening in my life. And going through hard phase is worth it.
Yeah. Sounds super cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys have times are hard. There's something beautiful in the end.
Yes,
really.
yes.
So, I mean, in anything you do, like what you just said, I think it applies to everything. So, even if it's not ballet, I mean, life itself is hard.
Yes.
So, nothing comes easy. Yeah. So, don't expect easy things. It's just funny that it's asked. But I do think that ballet does require a certain physical strain on the body, because it's not normal to, like to do certain things. I mean, not every day someone greets you like, I don't know, like with a leg up or an arm up. So it's hard, I guess, in that sense.
But I just want to add, if it's like one of the most Googled questions in the internet, if ballet is hard, I guess it is hard, yes. But I think it's open to everyone, even if you start old na,
Yeah, that's
diba?
nice.
Parang it's not just when you have to start young. Well, if you want to make it a
Yeah.
career, but like if you want to make it like an outlet for you to do, or like an exercise to like kind of a relaxation or release, of course teacher will adjust, and it's not that it will be hard in the first day of school or class, but yeah, along the way you progress, and new things, it's hard, but as you go along the way, if you kind of practice, and I guess you'll makakayanan, kaya.
Can do it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Nice tips from you. And let's go to the next question. And this is a bit funny, but it says, is ballet a contemporary dance?
Oh, okay.
I don't know why people ask this, but
Oh, wow. Really? People ask that?
I know. But I guess, I mean, like, we come from a background, again, we don't want to put you guys down if you don't know anything about ballet. You know, we come from a background where Katrene started dancing super young,
Yes.
and I also started when I was 3. So maybe to ask this question is someone who really doesn't
No.
know, or a lot of people don't know
Yeah.
about dancing.
Well, I guess ballet is ballet, and contemporary is contemporary. Ballet is like a classical ballet, and I guess there's also contemporary ballet. So it's really different when it comes to movements. I don't want to say that classical ballet is really square, but I guess ballet is just like the foundation of dance. Diba?
Yeah.
Parang if you know how to dance ballet, it's easy to shift to other genres
Yeah,
of dance.
for sure.
Yeah, even if me, I know how to do hip hop, even if I'm awkward, but I think I know how to do it. It's easy for
Yeah.
me to follow instructions when it comes to dancing. May it be like the genres I don't think I would do, but I think it's easy for me to memorize. It's easy for me to adapt to the genres, especially like, for example, social dancing. Diba? Parang ballroom. It's easy. I may not have the proper stance or the proper training for it, but I think it's easier for us to shift.
Yeah, shift.
Yes. So, well, yeah,
Yeah.
ballet is ballet, contemporary is contemporary. You can do contemporary ballet. You can also do contemporary like in bare feet. Contemporary, I guess, is like new innovation.
There's like an era to contemporary from what I remember from my schooling. But I just forgot the year.
Yes.
But I know there is a year to it. So I guess like it starts from a certain year to something. It's kind of like how neoclassic started with like the Balanchine times,
Yeah.
like, and then the arms started to change. So I think contemporary dance goes somewhere in there
Yes.
also.
And
in
I
the
guess-
timeline of moving.
Yeah, and I guess dance is just really evolving and innovating in that sense. That's
Yeah.
why
It's fine.
sorry. In that sense, so there's people would really think that is ballet a contemporary. But yeah.
Yeah. But the next question is even funnier.
Yeah.
And it is. I'm gonna get to it, but it is ballet a ballroom dance?
Wait, just what I said.
Wait.
That's what I said. Okay, so, well, no, it's not. It's not.
Those are two different things.
Yes, but I guess you can use the techniques of ballet to ballroom dancing. I think when it comes to the, I don't know, port de bras, even in skating,
Yeah.
right? Even in skating.
And I think like your upper body when you do ballroom, it's really important to keep your shoulders down because I used to do Latin dance.
Wow.
I used to do Latin, so I used to do like cha-cha, samba, rumba, like that.
Mhm.
Jive. I really took lessons. there's really an importance in like the upper body and like showing you're framing your
Yes.
upper body.
Yes.
So I think in that sense, ballet is really nice to learn because we also do that.
Mm-hmm.
And if we remember, like ballet did start as a social dance,
Mm-hmm. That's true.
like in the past.
Mhm.
So like if you study history, like people used to dance like line dancing.
Yes,
stuff
and
like
also
that.
in the court dances, right?
Yes,
So-
court dances. Yes.
So if there's an event
So-
in the king's place, it's really like for
Yes.
social dancing talaga.
Yes.
So-
So ballet wasn't like what it is today,
Mhm.
where the training is like super hard and all of this technical this and that. But yeah. All right. The next question and the easiest to answer is ballet expensive? Yay!
Wait. Well, yes. My answer is yes.
Yeah.
I think in everything that you do, you kind of invest first. And especially here in the Philippines, well, my mom paid for it, but I knew how much. And of course, it's different if you have private lessons. And not just that, the classes, but also what you wear. Also the point shoes that you
Point
use.
shoes,
Yes.
yes.
I think
Point shoes.
I think the classes and the shoes, that's the big chunk of the price that you pay for ballet. But
Yeah.
then if you become if that's your career, if that's your dance career, me dancing professionally, I get paid for it. So and I teach classes, so in that way I'm earning it back. And then whatever you do, yeah, you just invest. And I guess that's I don't know, ballet is just sometimes if I want a leotard, and that's a gift for myself, but having a good quality of leotard is expensive, like that. So but like learning ballet, some schools, diba, some schools give scholarships.
Scholarships.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can be expensive, and it can be like something like a gift, because if you get into a scholarship, and then you don't need to pay for anything, right?
Yeah.
But like, when I went to college, I didn't have to pay for my college fees because I was a scholar. And they have to, because I'm into dancing and ballet, so I didn't have to pay for my college. So that was kind of my break from the expenses. But like learning ballet from at a very young age,
Start,
you have to like shell out a little bit of money, but like it's worth it naman. It's worth it for me. Yeah.
I think although I think compared to other sports, I don't think it's as expensive as people think. Because usually monthly lessons, it differs per studio.
Yes.
Again, it differs
I
per
agree.
your teacher.
Yeah.
If your teacher is good, although you do want a good teacher,
Yes.
you don't want anyone if you want to learn ballet.
Yeah, and then we just
So,
go back to
yeah.
where you invest and what
Yeah.
what kind of quality that you want, like a teacher
Yeah.
also. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you'll get your money's worth. You'll be more flexible, you'll be more healthy,
Yes.
you'll have more body awareness. And I think ballet gives a lot of body awareness.
I think it's
compared to a lot of
I
different
think it's
sports.
also more than the classes that you go. I think it's beyond what the teacher tells you. It's like it's not just the technique that you learn, but also like life lessons. I guess it's part of it, because a part of my being right now, I think that's part of the investment that my mom paid when I was young. And I guess investing into something like ballet is, even if you don't push it as a career, but it will teach you a lot of lessons, life lessons.
Yeah.
Not just the dancing part, but also the life, how to deal with life, and go beyond the classroom setup or like the Zoom setup that we have. I guess whatever the teacher is telling you, the experiences that he or she shares, I think that's where you invest also, right?
Yeah. I agree completely. Okay, Well, enough about all the money.
Yes.
we can get to the next one. Is ballet a modern dance? What? I wonder who asked these questions. But this is one of the top questions. Like
Ooh.
this is like 7th most asked question.
Yeah. Well, the answer is no.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Modern dance is
It's
totally different.
Totally
guys.
different. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Ballet is ballet. Modern dance is modern dance.
Modern.
That's just the
Again, like,
answer.
I remember, I told you earlier, right, how there's a timeline. Modern dance also kind of comes somewhere in that timeline, if I'm not mistaken. So it's mostly of what we have today, I think.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. All right. Ooh, next question. Is ballet French?
Oh, history.
There's always a debate on that, you know?
Yeah. Let me go back to the history. Is ballet
Yeah.
French?
Well, it uses French words.
Well, yeah, they use French word. How?
Yeah, I think it was the reason why French and Italian people always argue,
Yeah.
from what I remember, is because that time, I think Italy was conquered by France, if I'm not mistaken. And that's why they say it's French, but it's actually an Italian that developed like a lot of the original things. I hope I'm not mistaken. I am a ballet teacher. This is embarrassing if it is. But if I remember correctly, that's why they say it's Italian. And then the French and Italian are always fighting who started ballet. But a lot of famous dancers actually started from like coming from Italy. Although the first school, you know, like Paris Opera is known to be one of the first schools of ballet. It is the first school of ballet. So yeah. I don't know. Is ballet French? The word ballet, I guess. Yeah.
And the terms used are French. And
Yeah.
we get to speak in French.
Yes, we know how to speak in French, so we can speak. We can say tendu, je t'aime.
Yeah.
But if you go to Paris, and because a few years ago I was in Paris, I remember someone said something in French, and I understood it.
Wow.
Because the person said, what's that, sauté? And it's like to
Jump.
jump. And then I was laughing because I was like, oh, sauté, I know how to say sauté. That's all.
We'll be familiar with in France. It's easy to just
Yeah. It's not, I guess it's not like as unfamiliar than, you know, we do hear French terms in ballet. So yeah. Anyway, there's the next question. Is ballet a French word? You know what? Is ballet a French word? We're gonna Google it.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
It's my
but I know it is.
I never really search for it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it is a French word. Of course it is a French word. I shouldn't have doubted myself. But its origin is Italian. Balletto. Ooh, we learned something new.
Yes.
But I think I read this somewhere also, which means balletto, Latin balletto, means to dance. Yeah,
yes.
I remember this. Yeah. So now we know. So this is why I guess Italians and French always argue who started what first.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the word came, English, it says, and then it's used now as a common term. So it's ballet.
Ballet.
Yeah. But yeah. Alright, so let's get to the last one.
Ooh.
This is, like, everything is so funny, and then comes the last one, and it says, is ballet the foundation of all dance?
Whoa.
What a serious question.
Yeah. Wait. So I just want to share based on my experience na lang. Diba? Parang, I'm a dancer. It's easy for me. Yeah, as I've said a while ago, it's easy for me to adapt to any kind of genres. Let's say for example, ballroom dancing. It's kind of hard because of the tempo and like that, and the hips. But like it's easier
Yeah.
to know or to study other types of genres when you, I
Yeah.
think, for me, because I can't imagine myself not dancing ballet and then right away you have to do hip hop or you have to do like ballroom dancing. Diba parang Mia, parang I can't imagine myself being like both of my legs are left. I can't imagine myself. So I just want to say that it's easier na lang that way. It's easier to study or to know any genres of ballet. And I guess for me my answer is yes to that question. So yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I've seen a lot of good dancers come out of ballet training. So I believe that ballet does have a really good foundation that other dance forms don't really. Because what's nice I think about ballet is they have the basics and it might be slow. And kids always say it's boring. You know, like some kids say it's boring when they start. But then in the end, like your focus is always the basics, and then they come out a lot stronger. So when they go into hip hop or when they go into jazz, they're really confident because the steps are familiar.
Yes.
You know, like when you go into hip hop, also they do counts, and then they have importance on like music, musicality, and I think ballet teaches that really well.
So our answer is yes.
Yes,
to that.
and our answer is yes.
Yeah.
So it's so funny that people ask these things.
Yeah, and for us it's like a funny question, but little did we know that a lot of people are asking those questions in Google.
Yeah, I know. It makes me really wonder what you guys think of ballet.
Yes.
And this also makes me want you guys to know that ballet is pretty fun. And, you know, like we have a good community of people.
Yeah.
So I think that if you know, like get into it, you'll know more about it. So yeah, I guess. But it's nice that people search. You know, like about it.
Yes.
So we know what you guys are asking.
Yes.
You guys ballet.
It's an opening to the world of ballet.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's actually it. We just wanted to keep it short again and sweet. We are so happy that you helped us. Thank you, Katrene. Don't forget to follow Katrine's vlog.
Yes!
Katrene also has her own vlog. It's super fun. She does some DIYs, and then she also does her own experiences in her dances and, you know, becoming like certain characters, which I really love to watch. So you guys should check that out.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you want to say anything?
So I had really fun this night. I think this is my first time. And it's so funny how people would really ask questions about the dancers. And it's really fun to see the answers, to know what's in your head, and like to really open doors and to know more about ballet and what we do in this world of art. It's really good to share our experiences to everyone because not every day we get to share what's inside because we're just dancing, and most of the time we're not really talking. We just want to dance and like our emotions out during our performance. But it's really nice to answer those questions and wait for more.
And let us know what else you'd love to hear for our, you know, our next videos.
Yes.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.